Greetings, friends. Welcome to the 2024 version of the Hermit Sessions. I am your host, Brina IX. I say 2024 edition because I first had this vision to start a podcast series called the Hermit Sessions back in 2020 with the uprising of all that chaoticness that we've all lived through now. So good job. But my first purpose, my first thought, or at least my mission statement with it, I guess you could say what I was wanting to achieve with it. And we're gonna get into tarot through this series here. But in tarot, there is a specific card called the Hermit. Actually, it is right here. And it's associated with the number 9. But anyway, the symbology and the interpretations around the Hermit card is just it's a lantern, a light in the dark. I was wanting to offer my authentic voice in an otherwise uncertain, unstable, and ever-changing environment. So that was my goals back then with the show and my thoughts. And life went other places for me, but I'm ready to get back into it now. And this is the resurrection of the Hermit Sessions with me. So I wanted to just take this first kind of pilot episode to dive in a little bit, give just a taste of what tarot is, or tarot. I've heard it pronounced both ways. And I have a deck here. This is a whole tarot deck right here, focused on the IX card, the Hermit. But I'm also going to be citing and quoting a lot from the Tarot Handbook by Angelis Arian. So if you have a local bookstore nearby and you want to get a copy of this, I would recommend it. It's the literal handbook on tarot, and it's going to be a big source of my inspiration through this series here. So I suppose, without further ado, we'll get into it. But now, coming back to the present moment, why I'm resurrecting my idea for this podcast series is because I keep coming back to the symbology, the interpretations, and the messages that can be found in the tarot deck. And more specifically, what I use it as, and what it's kind of intended for, is to be tools used for self-exploration, self-improvement, and self-reflection. And again, like I said, the tarot deck offers tools for anyone, regardless of your background, of your religious beliefs, of your spiritual beliefs, whoever you are. These are universal messages and universal things that anyone can relate to and might encounter in their experience of life. So that's why I think it's super cool. Literally anybody can use these if they wanted to. Okay, so let's dive into it a little more. I've made notes. Okay. So yes, like I said, the Tarot Handbook. I'm going to be reading from it just a little bit on some very specific points here. In the very beginning here, the introduction. Got to start from the beginning. It's a very good place to start. Quote my girl Marie from Sound of Music. Okay, so tarot. Why do we care? What is it? What's it have to do with me or you? The tarot is a symbolic map of consciousness and an ancient book of wisdom that reveals to us visually and symbolically the creative ideas and states of consciousness that appear in multiple existence in all cultures. The 78 symbols are archetypes of inner and outer experiences that are prevalent within human experience. So, like I said, universal messages, doesn't matter who you are. Okay, then, so Again, 78 cards, that number is significant. What it's made up of is 4 suits, like a playing deck of cards. I'm sure you've played solitaire or bridge or spoons, like Go Fish, like whatever, like ace, spades, diamonds, and hearts. Similar idea here. They're just called different things, and each one symbolizes something. Okay, so the 4 suits symbolize our mental capacity, mental experience, emotional, spiritual, and physical. Physical meaning like how things manifest for us in this earthly world, like our finances, our assets, just the things that we accumulate, things that we are physically interacting with on a daily basis. Okay, so the 78 cards are broken up into a couple different sections. First, and how you see here the Hermit card, that is part of what's called the Major Arcana section. That explores in depth the major universal principles or archetypes that all humankind experience at different times in life. Okay, and then there's what's called the Minor Arcana, which are the ace through 10 cards of each suit. And those function as mirrors of our challenges and inherent talents through the 4 suits there: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Okay, so that, and then some final thoughts here from this book, and then we'll move on to one other thing here during this episode. Just final thoughts that I want to leave you with here on the tarot. What is changing in the field of tarot symbols is the realization that we need to look beyond our cultural viewpoint or bias when we approach the tarot, and rely instead on these more important universal principles, thereby deepening the quality and accuracy of our interpretations and expanding our awareness of the human psyche. Angelis Aryan, The Tarot Handbook. So, super inspiring. This book is dense, and we're going to get into it a little bit at a time. I want this to be, accessible and digestible, not too dense, too much at once, but just something fun that you can listen to, maybe learn a little something from, or if you are already familiar with the tarot, then just enjoy it with me and come along for the journey. So welcome. And the last thing I want to leave you with, and something for fun, brings it back to why I call myself Brina IX. The IX, the number 9 in tarot here, the Hermit. I highly, heavily, deeply associate with the Hermit symbology. I do feel that that's who I am at my core. In short, it's just the needing to have that time to myself to retroflect, introspect, just analyze. I'm a very deep thinker. I take things like level after level after level in, and I'm just constantly being aware of my environment and the people around me and interactions. And then with that, from all that I've learned and experienced and have had to overcome in my own life, and still come out able to smile and want to share light with the world, that's what I hope to do. And I've been through some darkness. I've seen that, but I've also I've been blessed with people in my life, with tools to help me when I get stuck. So let me be that person in your life to help you along and say, hey, the light's there. We can get through it. Life is hard, but we can get through it, and it's not always going to be hard. So there you go. Now, last thing, how do you find your tarot number or your life number? That's what I'm going to share with you, because that's what's fun, and that's how I discovered that my number is 9. So it all depends on your birthday. So now, if you are following along with me in this book, I'm on page 230. We are going to discover how to determine your tarot profile, your lifetime symbols. These come from your birthday, the month you're born, the day, and the year. Lifetime symbols are both your personality symbol and your soul symbol. They both represent your inherent potential and purpose in this lifetime. So what you have to do, and I'm going to use the example in this book here. Whoa. Okay. So first you have to add your day and birth month together. So if you were born on September 9th, September is the 9th month of the year. The day, September 9, so you'd add 9 plus 9, and that gets you 18. Then you add that number, so in this case 18, you add that to your year. So the example in here, if you were born in 1956, you would add 18 to that, and then you get 1974. Okay, so now at this point, when you get that like 4-digit number, now you add those numbers horizontally. So for 1974, you're going to add 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 4, and that gets you 21. Okay, so now the fact that that's a 2-digit number, now you got to reduce that to a single digit. So 21, 2 plus 1 gets you 3. Okay, so the fact that that added up to a 2-digit number, 21, the double-digit number is your personality number. Okay, as long as it equals a double digit of 21 or less. So if it added up to 22 or more, again, add those numbers and solidify it to a single digit. Okay, but let's go back to the number 21. 21 is your personality number. But then 2 and 1, add those together, you get 3. 3 is your, let's see, 3 is called your soul number. Okay, but let's do a different example. Let's say you were born on March 21st, 1983. So March 21st. March is the 3rd month. You would add 3 plus 21, and that gets you 24. Then you add the 24 to your year. In this example, it's 1983. That equals 2007. And now here's where you do the horizontal math. 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 7, that gets you 9. That's my number. That's not my birthday. Okay. But now in this case, the horizontal adding came up with a single digit already. Okay, in this case it's 9. 9's the Hermit. So 9, that single digit, is both your personality and soul number. Okay, how fun is that? So the last thing I'll leave you with is I will go through all 21 of the major arcana cards, and if you did your little soul math there and came up with your tarot numbers, then you can tap into which one is you and look into it more. But we have a lot more to discuss and play around with actual cards too. So that's what's coming. Thank you for being a part of this pilot episode. I hope you've walked away with joy and light from it. Again, I'm Brina IX. I look forward to seeing you on the next show.
Nine of